Jonas Vingegaard. That's the English way of pronouncing the Danish guy's name who just won the biggest cycling event in the world, the Tour de France. In this video we are going to have a look at his name in Danish. How do you pronounce it correctly in Danish? And we're going to do it in a detailed way. We're going to look at it sound by sound. Danish has some, compared to other languages, unconventional way of pronouncing sounds. And with this video you are going to learn some of the very important Danish pronunciation rules. Even if you're not a big fan of cycling, even if you don't give a damn about who wins the Tour de France, for example, if you're in any way connected to the Danish language, you should watch this video until the end. Welcome to Mixed Languages. I am Mik. My full first name is Mikael. And my last name is Rasmussen. Mikael Rasmussen. And if you say that name to a Danish person, they will probably think of Mikael Rasmussen, who was a Danish cyclist, or he's still alive, but he is a Danish cyclist who in 2007 was about to win the Tour de France. He was crushing all the competition, but then before the race ended, he was taken out from the race because of doping. You must understand that cycling in Denmark is a huge sport, and most Danes, or many Danes, are really super interested in cycling. And now the Tour de France this year, 2022, was in Denmark. The first 3 stages were in Denmark. That was cool. So the event with Mikael Rasmussen was a bit sad for Danes. And then in 1996 was the first and until now the only time that a Dane won the race. The winner at that time, 1996, is called Bjarne Riis. And well, later he actually admitted, many years later, that he also took doping when he won the Tour de France, but his victory was not taken away from him. So officially he was the first Danish winner of the Tour de France. And now, this year, 2022, we have a second Danish winner of the Tour de France. If he is clean or not, that is maybe not something we can ever know for sure, but we can definitely know for sure his name and the way we pronounce it in Danish. So let's look at that. First I will say the name a few times correctly in Danish, and then we will look at it sound by sound, and we will compare it to English sounds. We will especially look at the sounds that are different from English spelling and English pronunciation. So let's get started right away here. The name is Jonas Vingegaard. So first we have the J, which English speakers might say Jonas. That's the way you say it in English. But in Danish it's Jonas, so it's the same as in yogurt, for example, the same sound. Then the O, which English speakers might say Joe, we have O, or O here, Jonas. That's a sound that's a bit difficult for English speakers to make, but it's the same O that you have in Spanish, for example. Then the N is normal, same in English, in almost languages I know of. Then the A here is, in English we say Jonas, maybe. In Danish is Jonas. That's one of the 3 sounds that an A can have in Danish. We have 3 sounds. We have A, A. So it's the second one here, A. And you will have that in most unstressed syllables with an S coming after the A. So it's important what consonant comes after the A to know which sound it is in the pronunciation. And here we have unstressed syllable and an S afterwards, so we have S. Let's continue to the last name. Vingegaard, first of all, it translates into actually something in English. Vinge means wing, obviously, and gaard means yard. We also have the Danish philosopher that's very, very famous, who's dead now, but who was called Søren Kierkegaard. So you see you have the same gaard in the end. So, Vingegaard. The V is normal. The I is kind of also like in English, the same I sound that we would have in the word wing. Then we have the NG. Here, it's important to understand that we do not say Vingegaard. I found another YouTube video where they pronounced the name Jonas Vingegaard supposedly correctly, but they have this Vinge, right? And that's not the way we do in Danish. NG is always going to be just a sound, just like in, for example, mingle, but without the g afterwards. So it's just like it's as if it were mingle, right? Vingegaard. That takes some time to get used to. But it shouldn't be a difficult process, because you just say a sound you're used to saying in English and you just take away the kind of other part of it. Then let's go on. The E is also easy here, Vinge. And then we have the G, normal, G. And let's start with the RD in the end. RD is in Danish always pronounced without the D pronounced. So it's just as if it were an R. It has influence on the vowel, how we pronounce the vowel, but we don't hear the D. So if a syllable ends with RD, we do not pronounce the D. Another example of this is bord, which means table. Bord. And now let's take the vowel here, double A, which in modern Danish is written with an A with a dot on top. In old Danish it was AA. I think in 1940 something they invented this A with a dot on top instead of the AA. But it's the same sound. Normally O. And this sound, this letter also has 3 different sounds, just like A has. But it's 3 different sounds from the sounds that A have. And in the case of R, so this A with the dot or double A and the R, we always have the same sound. We always have this går. For example, if you just have these 2 letters together, it means year, And it's kind of the same as in the word gorgeous in English. Gorgeous, imagine gorgeous. I would say it's almost as identical, the identical sound here. But in Danish we have the stød. I also have videos about the stød, which is this kind of glottal stop, creaky voice. There's a kind of stop, går. I don't say går, I say like in gorgeous, I say går. So that's important here as well. Vingegaard. And it's also important to note, if we say this name quickly, we can kind of skip the E in the surname, and we can say Jonas Vingegaard. Jonas Vingegaard. Both are equally correct. Vingegaard. Okay, now you know how to pronounce the name of the Danish rider who won the Tour de France this year, 2022. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments. And well, I would recommend you to practice, for example, with this name, practice to pronounce it correctly several times. You could record yourself with an app while you are practicing to hear how it sounds, to hear if you get it right. And instead of focusing meticulously on the unique sounds on each individual sound, you should also really focus on the rhythm, the melody. That's important here in Danish. The melody is super important. Jonas Vingegaard, Jonas Vingegaard. Like we also had the other riders I talk about, Bjarne Riis. So we stress the last name kind of. Bjarne Riis, Michael Rasmussen, Jonas Vingegaard. That was it from me for this video. See you again soon. Vi ses. Ha det godt.